Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Volcker Report. This end of day report is for trading on Wednesday, July the 26th, 2017. Starting off with a chart of the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. As you can see, it did hit another new high, 59.69 and three quarters, inching itself closer to that 6,000 point mark, and it's going there. NASDAQ 100, 6,000. All right, it's coming. It's right around the corner. Momentum and everything is looking terrific. All right, switching gears, we're going to take a look at the euro and see how that is working. I do believe that we have possible, well, let's just take a look at the chart. As you can see here on the weekly chart, it is just going straight up. And we could be on verge of a really terrific run here, especially with the US dollar trading in the low 93 handle now. All right, it's in the low 93s now. And you see we're locking in on the momentum here on this euro. I see more upside potential. I think it wants to get to at least 118. Who knows? Maybe even 120. So the euro is on a tear right now. It is definitely on a tear. This 117 was a very crucial level for that euro. So if you are along the euro, you may want to go ahead now and tighten up that stop a little bit as per the post-wave price triggers. All right, moving right along. Looking at nat gas. Nat gas has been um, pretty interesting to say the least. All right, I have fat fingers right now, so let's deal with it. All right, so looking here at the nat gas, it's in that Kumo cloud of death, trading below trend lines and negative post waving, but anything's possible inside the cloud. But we are in a free fall state here in natural gas, and $3 seems to be a strong resistance for it right now. Moving right along to gold. All right, gold right now caught a bid in the after hours market because of some good earnings releases, especially in the tech sector. So, with that being said, gold is now just shy of 1270 as it makes this run up toward the 12, I want to say 1300 mark is what it's trying to get back to. So, looking pretty good right now, looking very strong right now. Looking at silver. Silver got the benefit of what's happening in gold, but it's still struggling. All right, it's struggling. 1678 seems to be strong resistance. Top side of that would be 1711. We'll call it 1712. So those are your two key resistance points for the silver. It still needs to close above $16.30 this week if it is going to carry over momentum for next week. All right, looking ahead now, let's take a look at that bond, the long bond. All right, so the Fed, I think, realized today that um, them, trying to shuck the system and raise rates, even though bond prices are strong, um, they went ahead and said we're not going to do anything. Which is funny because the last time they raised those rates, bond prices were here, north of the current trend line resistance. All right, we topped out at 156.23, and the Fed went ahead and raised those rates. All right, and then here we are, and this is a political move back here. They had to do it in order to maintain confidence in their fictitious recovery story. So they had to do it here. Now, technically speaking, they could have done something today. Remember what I told you? Anything below 153 is the rate hike zone. Well, today we got down to 152.08. All right, so they technically could have went ahead and done it because then we're negative. trend lines are still below the Kumo cloud. Price action happening outside of that too, but nothing super bearish. But showing signs of resistance up here around the 155 zone. So they could have done it, and they would have been okay today, just because of that overall generalness. So I think what they realized their mistake. Uh, They did it here for due to political pressure, so they know they couldn't again do it here. All right, so they already done it. So I think that's it. If the bond prices continue to slip here, then it could actually give them the ammunition that they so desperately need to raise those rates. I think they realize they're not going to be able to raise the rates. They really technically should not have or could not have before, but did it anyway. All right, so they broke protocol, and now they fired their shot, and there's nothing else they can do. They played their hand, they played their card, and it's all over. But this could bail them out. Bond prices could head back down here to 47. That would bail the Fed out. But if their bonds gather steam, get some legs, and we close above 153.19, well, that opens the door to something totally different. We shall see. Taking a look now at soybeans. Let's look at the ag sector. All right, so as you can see here, it was all the way down to the 900 level, and now we rallied all the way back up to 1047. Now we're at 1001. Mini downtrend channel right here. Market seems to be well supported around 984.38. So you got a nice wide trading range action happening outside the Kumo cloud. If the soybeans are going to carry something over for next week, they need to close above 994.37, which technically speaking is 994. We'll call that at a quarter, 995 quarter. All right. So that's where we are. And the soybeans need to close above 994 and a quarter. All right, moving right along. Let's take a look at the miners here, the junior gold miners. As you can see here, we got green on the screen so far for the week. Just need to close above 32.75 to carry over some momentum into next week, where the market can possibly make a run for the 34.84 resistance. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Let's now take a look at the Bitcoinage. All right, you can see GBTC still weak for the week, pun intended, and it needs to close above 385.41 if it's gonna try to get itself out of this current weakness. All right, BTSC, pretty much the same thing. We're weak. Market needs to close above 0.0747 this week. All right, looking at BITCF. All right, this one so far is green. So this one is looking interesting right now. Closed at 38 cents. And I think it wants to make a run back to top side north of 80 cents. We shall see. I think the pointer is going to bail them out. This pointer here, and of course this one here. It's going to bail this market out, and it's going to attract prices higher. So this one is definitely in play. One that's going to need to be watched, because I think, like I said, it is in play, and we could see some momentum start to gather in this one, as it may decouple itself briefly from that of the Bitcoin itself, because on the tech side of things, looking at blockchain and whatnot, there are other things that are popping off behind the scenes that could help support price. All right, so let's see, what else did we have? Oh, NVIDIA to 200. NVIDIA to 200. Hit 169.93 so far this week, and there's really nothing holding it back, not at all. All it has to do is close above 159.06, and I think it'll be good to go for the week. All right, anything else that I neglected? Okay, let's look at the dollar. All right, the dollar is in free fall right here. You can see on the weekly chart, it has no support. and it's just falling. All right, everything's breaking away. Once the orange line breaks below the Kumo cloud and price follows, it's just going to pick up momentum at this point. And the Fed can afford it. Like I told you, as long as they keep it above 90, you should be good to go. So you still got 3 points that you can fall and still maintain the Fed's protocol and benchmark for the dollar. All right, good for import export stuff, but bad on your pocketbook. All right, let's see. Oh, we haven't looked at Hack in a while. Let's see what Hack is up to. Maintain that $30 threshold. And we do see momentum possibly in the horizon somewhere around the first of the year. So next year could be very interesting. This thing could really catch some fire, which would be bad for us in the physical. In the financial, this will be great. In the physical, not so great because they could do something really foul, like try to bring down the internet, if you will. All right, I will end with this last piece of information. Congratulations, it is now official. Crypto is money. We can no longer say gold and silver is money and nothing else. We now have to say gold, silver, and crypto is money and nothing else. SEC issues investigative report concluding DAO tokens, a digital asset, were securities. So U.S. law securities U.S. securities law may apply to offers, sales, and trading of interest in virtual organizations. Washington, D.C., July 25th. The Securities and Exchange Commission issued an investigative report today cautioning market participants that offers and sales of digital assets by virtual organizations are subject to the requirements of the federal securities laws. Such offers and sales conducted by organizations using distributed ledger or blockchain technology have been referred to, among other things, as initial coin offerings or token sales. Whether a particular investment transaction involves the offer or sale of a security, regardless of the terminology or technology used, will depend on the facts and circumstances, including the economic realities of the transactions. The SEC's report of investigation found that tokens offered and sold by a virtual organization known as the DAO were securities and therefore subject to the federal securities laws. I repeat, the SEC's report of investigation found that tokens offered and sold by a virtual organization known as the DAO were securities. Tokens, virtual, were securities. Virtual, tokens, the DAO, are now considered securities. Tokens considered securities. Tokens traded on the blockchain are considered securities. Crypto is securities. That includes all of them, not singling out individual ones, but all of them. All right, it goes on to say that the SEC's report stems from an inquiry that the agency's enforcement division launched into whether the DAO and associated entities and individuals violated federal securities laws with unregistered offers and sales of the DAO tokens in exchange for Ether, a virtual currency. The DAO has described as a crowdfunding contract, but it would not have met the requirements of the regulation crowdfunding exemption because, among other things, it was not a broker-dealer or a funding portal registered with the SEC and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. The innovative technology behind these virtual transactions does not exempt securities offerings and trading platforms from the regulatory framework designed to protect investors and the integrity of the markets, said Stephanie Avakian, co-director of the SEC's Enforcement Division. In other words, crypto is a currency. This report called it a currency. It acknowledged that Ether is a virtual currency. Ether currency. Ether equals currency. DAL tokens equals money. Money. The crypto space is money. This is the one step closer, a big giant step closer to proving and that the digital space is not going anywhere and that crypto is money along with gold and silver. Fiat is done. The day of fiat is over. Let me get into character when I say this to you. The age of man is over. Now is the age of the org. So the age of the fiat dollar is over. Now is the age of the crypto. Get ready for a blockchain coming near you. The technology has no bounds, no limitations. You'd be surprised what they will be able to do with this. This is necessary, folks. They have to put out a press release, a paper from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission acknowledging that it's money in order for them to justify turning everything over to the blockchain, including their very own currency. This is what's coming, folks. So now that they've called it money, they get to take it over legally and regulate it. They don't have to do financial hitman tactics to bring it down. All they have to do is legislate it out of existence and make it illegal. Everything's illegal unless you're going through them. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back to the greedy central banksters. You don't need to do that. All right? And for those of you who want to know, here's the link right here. This is the website right here. All right. The scc.gov/news/press release /2017-131 is all right hither and thither. All right. I didn't make it up. I didn't pull it out of the sky. It is what it is. People always ask, where do you get your information? Where are your sources? Can you cite sources? Nah, do your homework, and then you too can cite sources. I'm not a news thing. I deal with the markets and anything that's pertinent to that. Then I'm gonna deal with it. But I ain't got time to post links and all that stuff. People gotta do their own homework. You know what I'm saying? Just trust and believe when I tell y'all things. Understand that it's gonna come to pass. It's either already happening or it's gonna come to pass. And no, that's not arrogance. That's none of that stuff. I don't have time for all of that. Confidence does not equal arrogance. Okay, I'm confident in my information. That does not make me arrogant because I'm confident in my information. So, anybody got a problem with that? Oh well, so what? Be encouraged, folks. PulseWaveTrading.com. Come learn how to learn what it is that the central banks don't want you to learn. Take the study course, change your life, create an additional IPO offering for yourself. All right? This is my IPO to you. All right? So, here you go. All right? This is my initial public offering to you. All right? I'm dropping with my IPO, I'm dropping ICOs. My initial public offering to you is dropping initial coins of knowledge to you via the Pulse Wave system. Be encouraged. Peace out.